OMG, panic mode! It's a total panic mode! Nintendo's making mobile games! Well, hello and welcome to Food for Thought. This week we're talking Nintendo. Again, it's not like we talk about them all the time. Although I made a joke about panicking, I'm not really against the whole move to using mobile games. I've been a Nintendo fan for a long time, and the way that they're approaching this, I'm actually pretty excited about. But there was a little bit of news in this announcement that was more confusing than not, and that was the Nintendo NX. And like, what the heck is this thing? How powerful is it? What will it do? How much will it cost? Well, believe it or not, we actually know more about this system than you think. To start, I'm going to say this. The console will not replace the Wii U. You're like, what the heck? Why would it do that? Why would it not be as powerful as the Xbox One or PlayStation 4? Well, for one, it makes not a lot of sense to actually try to match the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 in power, especially from Nintendo's standpoint. If they were trying to get third parties back, there's no guarantee that the third parties would stay with them and they'd end up just spending money. In fact, the biggest problem Nintendo has is actually a flaw in their current model, not the next generation consoles. Or, not next generation, but you know what I mean. The current generation of consoles. And it makes a lot of sense when you put it into perspective after analyzing the current model. So Nintendo's current model existed during the DS and Wii era, where there were a lot of casual gamers on Nintendo consoles. There were a lot of them who would actually go from the DS to the Wii, and vice versa, because both consoles were rather reasonably priced and cheap, along with the fact that a lot of the games were catered towards a casual audience, and the games were nice and easy to pick up. But times have changed. In fact, currently, their current consoles are the 3DS and the Wii U. The Wii U and the 3DS have both been made for a much more core gamer audience. That's kind of a tongue twister. The core gamer audience that they're going for is the old Nintendo audience that was around for the GameCube. They were the gamers that seriously played the consoles, and it's worked on the 3DS aspect. But there isn't that transition between the 3DS and the Wii U that Nintendo would hope for, and that mainly comes from the cost of the console. So this new current model that they're working on, they're going to try to dip into the extremely casual market again. And by doing this, they're going to attach to the one thing that the casuals attach to, cell phones and tablets. By doing this, they're going to make games that will hopefully entice a couple more people into buying 3DSs and Wii U's. But there's still the flaw in their system because people weren't moving from the Wii U to the 3DS in the first place. And this is where the model seems really broken, until you add the Nintendo NX. Now, I propose that the Nintendo NX is actually going to be weaker than the Wii U, but cheaper. And the console's probably going to be about Wii powered with HD. And the reason I think this is because remember back when Nintendo entered the Chinese gaming market where they said they need to make a cheaper console for this type of a market? I thought for a moment, it'd be interesting if they brought this to the rest of the world. Now they reveal this thing called the NX after announcing that they're going to be dipping their feet into the casual audience again, and I'm thinking it's a little bit more of a casual console. So after you add the NX into this strategy, it actually becomes brilliant. Nintendo's now going to be dipping into two different casual markets with two core experiences. Casuals could then possibly move to the two core experiences if they like what they see, but their core experiences are not related directly to the casual market, therefore making profit, keeping Nintendo in a very nice financial place, and also making it so that they don't have to change much about their mentality. And also, one of the best things comes from the NX being cheaper than the Wii U. All of those console gamers on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 pretty much have the same viewpoint. I even have a couple friends who have PS4s that have said to me time and time again, I would buy a Wii U if it were cheaper. Wii U can't be brought down in price, but I want to play these Nintendo games. So, new console, cheaper and weaker than a Wii U, but can play select games, or even from the ground up, their own games, that are a little bit less technically demanding than the Wii U games. So they buy this console. It's cheap, it sits right next to their console, they get to play it, they get to taste Nintendo stuff. those are the gamers who are going to go, I like this, time to get a Wii U. And then they will transition into the Wii U. And it's a pretty easy and basic setup that will allow them to really take over like Wii U sales. So after they bridge the gap between the Wii U and the 3DS with a cheaper console, it becomes a lot easier for those 3DS members to just go, oh, hey, I like this. Why don't I just happen to grab a 3DS and a Nintendo NX? And again, it's that same flow where it flows into the much larger system. And the goal here would essentially be to create an ecosystem that separates itself from other consoles and even the casual market by reaching into both markets but being completely separate. And, you know, Nintendo's fan base is actually really, really telling. They love the games, and there's a high attach rate on the Wii U game console like games. So what that means is that if they have all these dedicated fans, they're making up the money in actual software sales. And this leads into why I don't think they're going to cut the Wii U lifespan short, because the fans that have it are mainly from this year. Well, not 2015, 2014. You see, Nintendo actually saw huge spikes in Wii U's during 2014. A spike that actually made the console pick up enough steam for Nintendo to be like, okay, it hasn't reached its point yet. And Iwata very clearly stated that it hasn't reached its point, and I'm inclined to believe him because he knows more than we do about what's in the pipeline. There could be a 3D Mario, there could be, you know, Metroid, there could be F-Zero, things that would bring the Wii U sales up. So, if it's not at its point, it's not halfway done with its lifespan. Which is another reason I think the NX isn't going to get rid of the current system. Also, they don't talk about it as the replacement. When Project Cafe was announced, which it became the Wii U, by the way, they were like, this thing will replace the Wii. They announced the NX and they're like, it's a new concept. A fourth pillar, if you will, adding the mobile in. But there is one damaging piece of evidence against everyone who thinks this is going to be an upgrade to the Wii U. This diagram. Now, if you did not actually read the whole thing, you probably are like, what the heck is this? This has been translated to English. As you can see, the NX is on alongside the Wii U and the 3DS, meaning something completely different. And then they have the mobile on the other side. This is where I believe that we get the most evidence saying that this is not the replacement for the Wii U. And, you know, it's kind of great to feel that because I was kind of worried. I got my Wii U almost a year ago, not even a year yet. And I would be pretty pissed off if in 2 years, so it'd be a 3-year life cycle for me, I had to replace it. And I got it pretty early in its life, so it's like, no, I don't like that. In fact, another thing that, again, you don't want to betray your fans, doing it like that would easily make me kind of hesitant to buy the next console. So in the end of the day, this is actually a really, really big business move. You see, now they're going back to the casual market, but keeping their core audience. And by separating the two, they can actually make more profit and still be an awesome game company. The Wii U's had some impressive games, but they are not casualized. Mario Kart 8 was easily one of the best in the series, had a nice amount of challenge in it, and has a great competitive scene. Smash Bros is the exact same way. In fact, it is the hardest Smash Bros in the entire series. So all of this combined makes the Wii U a much more dedicated system. This new one will not be. It will probably use the Pro controllers and the Wiimotes, but that's about it. And it will be something that plays virtual console games, something small. Now, do I believe that this is the end of the world? Not at all. In fact, actually, I think this is very good for Nintendo. I can't wait to try everything. We'll see what they can do to mobile gaming. They may actually change it. And the NX, I will probably get it no matter what it is, in all honesty. Just because, you know, I do keep up on these things. So, tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think this is a terrible thing? Do you think this is the greatest thing in the world? Also, Kawaii Kasume ni Sakasuru. I think I may have said that right. Essentially, join the cute revolution by subscribing to this YouTube channel. Just go back to our channel by clicking the pie, and you can click it and join us in our adorable endeavors. And as always, thanks for watching. Click, there's videos around here that are by us. Just click them and enjoy. I thank you guys again. Wolfie out.